Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yasoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana. Yasoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana. Jamunatira Vanachari. Jamunatira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yasoda Nandana Braja Janaranjano. Yasoda Nandana Braja Janaranjano. Jamunatira Vanachari. Jamunatira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Sri Radha Madhava ki, Sri Sri Radha Giridhari ki Jai. Grantara srimadbhagavatam ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa. Puri Braj Gajaja Shodhara Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Abhay Charanara Vinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Puri Braj Gajaja Shodhara Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Saranta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Grantara srimadbhagavatam ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakti ki Jai. Go Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories assembled devotees. All glories assembled devotees. All glories Sri Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. There we go. Hare Krishna. Oh boy. Fan? No, I'm fine. Reminds me of hell. This is. No, I'm fine. It's a sound of Vaikuntha. It's a sound of Vaikuntha breezes. Everyone's kind of... Okay.
How about that? You okay now? You did that no camera? Or do you want the camera? Doesn't matter to me.
Doesn't matter to me. I'll try to be as Krishna conscious, as entertaining as I can to keep everyone awake during the sultry morning heat. How's that? Is that good? Are we missing anyone? Any fallen soldiers? He's there. How about Damodar Kumar, glorious SanDiego leader?
Oh, you probably washed the dishes down there.
Wow, pot washer. Hmm? Yeah, okay. Anyways. Mahabharat, he's not here. Mahabharat and Janardhan are cooking breakfast today. Jamal said he'd return because they're sneaking up on me, huh? Watch out for that guy. Fortunately, he's tall and you saw him. Could have been hiding behind the Vyasa-san and no one would ever know it. Could have been sleeping behind the Vyasa-san, no one would know it, but you're so tall they saw you. Like that. Okay. So this morning, this is text 7 from the 18th chapter of the 4th canto. This is Mother Earth, Bhumi Mata speaking. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayat Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So, let's see what we got here. Let's see it. Apalitana Dritacha Adinadacha Bhavad Bir Lokapalakai Lokapalak Chori Bhute Taloke Ham Yagyarte Grasam Ashodhi Apalitana Dritacha Bhavad Bir Lokapalakai Chori Bhute Taloke Ham Yagyarte Grasam Ashodhi Apalitana Dirtacha Bhavad Bir Lokapalakai Chori Bhute Taloke Ham Yagyarte Grasam Oshadhi Apalitana Dirtacha Bhavad Bir Lokapalakai Chori Bhute Taloke Ham Yagyarte Grasam Oshadhi. Anyone like to chant? Cha.
Bhavad Bir Lokapalakai Chori Bhute Taloke Ham Chori Bhute Taloke Ham.
apalita, without being taken care of. Anadrita, being neglected. Cha, also. Bhavadibhi, like your good self. Lokapalakai, by the governors or kings. Chori bhute, being beset by thieves. Ata, therefore. Loke, this world. Aham, I. Yagya arte, for the purpose of performing sacrifices. Agrasam, have hidden. Oshadihi, all the herbs and grains. Or as they say in England, herbs. Right? Herbs. Okay. Translation. If you ever give class in England, you got to say herbs. They won't know what you're talking about. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. My dear king, not only are grains and herbs being used by non-devotees, but as far as I am concerned, I am not being properly maintained. Indeed, I am being neglected by kings who are not punishing these rascals who have turned into thieves by using grains for sense gratification. Consequently, I have hidden all these seeds which were meant for the performance of sacrifice. Please repeat, my dear king. Not only are grains and herbs being used by non-devotees, but as far as I am concerned, I am not being properly maintained. Indeed, I am being neglected by kings who are not punishing these rascals who have turned into thieves by using grains for sense gratification. Consequently, I have hidden all these seeds which were meant for the performance of sacrifice. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. That which happened during the time of Prithu Maharaj and his father King Vena is also happening at this present moment. A huge arrangement exists for the production of large-scale industrial and agricultural products, but all these products are meant for sense gratification. Therefore, despite such productive capacities, there is scarcity because the world's population is full of thieves. The word chori bhute indicates that the population has turned to thievery. According to Vedic understanding, men are transformed into thieves when they plan economic development for sense gratification. It is also explained in Bhagavad Gita that if one eats food grains without offering them to the Supreme Personality of Godhead Yajna, he is a thief and liable to be punished. According to spiritual communism, all properties on the surface of the globe belong to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The population has a right to use goods only after offering them to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the process of accepting prasad. Unless one eats prasad, he is certainly a thief. It is the duty of governors and kings to punish such thieves and maintain the world nicely. If this is not done, grains will no longer be produced and people will simply starve. Indeed, not only will people be obliged to eat less, but they will kill one another and eat each other's flesh. So, they are already killing animals for flesh, so when there will be no longer be grains, vegetables, and fruits, they will kill their own sons and fathers and eat their flesh for sustenance. Om Agyanti Burandasya Gananjana Salakaya Chaksulunminitam Dena Taismai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Agyanti Burandasya Banchagaupadrubhascha kripa sindhu bevacha patitanam bhavanibhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. So by your good wishes and blessings from my seniors, I'll try to say a few words. But Bhadram te, I'll accept them up on my head. So, Torchlight Publishing, what was it? Shifting the Paradigm. That was our tagline, or whatever you want to call it. I remember that. Advaita came up with that, shifting the paradigm. This verse is about that, a whole different worldview or a whole different paradigm, which is diametrically opposed to what 99.9999% of every single living entity in this material world is thinking, even in the human beings who are supposed to have higher consciousness and understanding of reality. We have the same unfortunate situation here. A complete misunderstanding of how the material nature is working. So I thought I'd read a few verses that Prabhupada is referring to in the purport that appear in the Bhagavad Gita. Is that okay?
Yep.
Okay, so the first one, actually, let me read the paradigm one. These are all from the 3rd chapter. We got that. The one about chakram. Did I pass it? Might have passed it. Where is that one? But the chakram of one who doesn't follow the regulated things. Bhavanti bhutani karma brahmodi. Isn't it? Or is that from another chapter? No, they have that. Okay, anyways. Yes, it's right there. Evam parvartitam chakram nanuvarta ihaya aghayor indiraramo mogam varta sajivati. My dear Arjun, one who does not follow in human life the cycle of sacrifice thus established by the Vedas certainly leads a life full of sin, living only for the satisfaction of the senses. Such a person lives in vain. So this parvartitam chakram, in other words, Krishna has already set up a paradigm, or this material world is moving under a certain arrangement, and if we don't accept that or don't follow it, there's going to be all kinds of problems. That's being described here in the purport in regards to food also. So the first verse that Prabhupada is referring to is number 13, this Yagya Shishtana Santo Muchanti Sarvakil Bisai Bunjate Te Gatam Papa Ye Panchayatmakaranat. The devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. That's interesting. Okay. Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily only sin. So, the purport's explaining is something which is universal in application, but very, very subtle. That this whole material world is bhoktadam jagdatapam sarvaloka maheshwaram. It's Krishna's process in the purport. Everything, what is that in the Ishopanishad? You're all going to Ishopanishad class? Ishavasham idam sarvam. Right? Everything is controlled and owned by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's His property. And everything should be used, what is that? Bhoktadam jagdatapasam. Everything's used for the pleasure of the Lord. And that goes against what we're all thinking, what everyone in the material world's thinking. That everything, I'm the enjoyer and I'm the controller and I'm the proprietor of everything, that I have. So, it's a very strong word here, thieves. Such a mentality is a thief. What is a thief? A thief is someone who thinks I can take other people's property. Doesn't have a problem with it. Doesn't have a problem at all. Just go and take someone else's property, day in and day out. Even when they're caught, they go, I was caught. Right? It was that Nixon. He was the one who said, when they caught him, he said, well, all the other presidents cheated, but I was caught. Right? His predecessor, so many presidents did so many horrible things, he said, but my problem was I got caught. So that's the mentality of a thief, right? Just a thief. We're all thieves, I got caught. Like that. So you think you can take someone else's property as your own, without paying for it, without any remuneration, you just go and take it. That's called a thief. That kind of mentality is condemned. How can there be a peaceful society if everyone's a thief? Right? there's that story about the Vaishnav the thief who became a Vaishnav, and he went on pilgrimage with all the devotees, and he couldn't stop the idea of stealing. But the way he curbed it was at night when everyone's sleeping, he moved everyone's luggage with someone else. He had to like take things, so he just took things and moved them over, like your bag would be with him, and like that, and just couldn't help himself. That was the advice given to him. It just creates a big disturbance when someone's a thief. Have you ever had anything stolen from you? Well, I hope it was stolen by Krishna. Okay, good. Have you had anything stolen from you? Raise your hand if you have not had anything stolen from you besides your heart. Everyone's right. How do you feel? So violated. So violated. It's unbelievable. Someone took something like that. So, and you have a whole population like that. Everyone's stealing from someone else, right? From big to small, like that. There's that saying, I don't know, is it Bengali about the gold, hira, and what's the watermelon? Yeah, what do you take, gold or a watermelon? You're still a thief, right? You're still a thief. The judge will say, oh, you're a thief. Oh, it was just a watermelon. No, you're a thief. It was someone else's. It belonged to someone else. In fact, what does Chanakya Pandit say about other people's possessions? Huh? Garbage in the street. And in Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita says other people's possessions, like stones or gold, are all the same. They're just because you have no interest. You have no interest. That's why there's that story in the Bhagavatam about when Maharaj Yudhisthira needed huge, vast sums of revenue to perform the Rajasuya sacrifice. One thing, he sent his brothers to the north. He heard of this big. There was once a huge yajna going on, and the Brahmins received golden utensils and pure gold plates. Ashramita, after Ashramita, and they were so satisfied and had plenty, they just left it all there. So they're just all there, and no one else touched it, and they went and got it. So satisfied and so honest, right? That there's that book Indica. You know the book Indica? It's written a long time ago, a few thousand years ago. It was written by the historian who traveled with Alexander the Great. And one thing he said about India, it's the most wonderful culture, advanced culture that he ever passed through. And one of the things he said was, of course, there was human rights, animal rights, so much prosperity. And he said that a foreigner dies in that country, all his possessions, they find it and they return it to the proper family and owners. They take the time to, not that, it's ours now. It's like in the world, in the country today, law is if you don't have a will, if you don't have a family trust and so on, you pass away, guess who gets everything? The state just takes it. Muchas gracias. Just takes it. Like that. No endeavor very little endeavor. So the point is everything belongs to Krishna, and everything should be used in the service of the Lord. And we have a right to our quota, but everything should be done as an offering to the Lord. And it's referring specifically here because the citizens are famished. There's no food. And Mother Earth is saying that, I know about that, because the population has become such... just like, what do you do if you have a bunch of thieves in your neighborhood? Do you just leave everything out? Park your car out front or park it in the garage, right? Just like I went to this, you see this in different countries, there's no curb appeal to the homes, right? Curb appeal. They just have a big wall there. And sometimes they have broken glass and big fences and all that. Why? Well, you go to a country or a place and there's big walls and big fences. What does that mean? A lot of thieves. That's just what it means, right? That's just what it means. So that's just the way they did it. Just like if you go to the Getty Villa. Has everyone been to the Getty Villa in their last life? The Getty Villa is there near Los Angeles. J. Paul Getty was a very, very well-to-do person, very, very wealthy, and he used to collect art and put it in his house up in the hills there overlooking the ocean. And it had so much art, he opened his house to to the public to come and enjoy. Then his art collection, the demand to see it grew so much, down below his house, he built a museum. Now that museum is a replica of a villa that was unearthed in Pompeii. A little history here. And it's interesting because you look at that, and from the outside, there's practically no windows at all. It's all walls on all sides. And the explanation was, that's what rich people did. You couldn't tell from the outdoor whether they had money or not. Because, in those days, you didn't have big police forces and everything. People could just come and raid your property. So it looked like practically a fortress. But then you go inside, beautiful gardens and waterfalls and the whole thing inside. But from the outside, protect themselves from thieves and rogues and rascals. That's how they built their homes. Like that. That's how they built their homes. So the same way, the Mother Earth, what is she doing? All these thieves want to take all the grains and just use it for sense gratification. That's not the purpose of it. It all belongs to Krishna, should be used for jagya. So the devotees of the Lord, they know this principle. They're practicing it themselves, and they're trying to help other people learn this principle and practice it, because that is the key to prosperity and good fortune. Krishna says that right here. Also, in the 3rd chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, he actually explains how he set everything up. It says, in the beginning of creation, the Lord of all creatures, who's that? Lord Brahma, sent forth generations of men and demigods along with sacrifices for Vishnu, and blessed them by saying, be thou happy by this yajna, because its performance will bestow upon you everything desirable for living happily and achieving liberation. So in other words, the whole system has been set up. And that's why Prabhupada makes a point here in the purport. There are huge industries, to stimulate and continue the economy, right? Big agribusinesses where they're, just kicking all the people off the farm. And these big agribusinesses where they say are very, very economical and so on. And huge industrial enterprises. And they're always reporting how the, gross national product and this and that are all going up and up and up and up and up. But why, if we look at the world as a whole, there's so much shortages? Food and, It must not be the key to success or happiness, let alone happiness, right? All these big arrangements, what is it producing? Because it's not the key to happiness. That's the mode of passion mixed with illusion, right? Big arrangements, but what happens? Nothing good comes of it. There's that one saying about the Himalaya mountains. They're all excited that Himalayas were giving birth. And the rumble, a bunch of rats ran out. Like, what's that? Nothing. So big arrangement, and nothing happens. There's nothing there. So, and it just creates all kinds of problems. So there's different things here to meditate upon. And Prabhupada says that in due course of time, and we read this over and over again in the Bhagavatam, as Kali Yuga progresses, because there's no performance of sacrifice and no rain, there's not going to be any grains and foodstuffs like that to feed human beings or animals. So what's left to eat? Each other, right? That's it. Someone was just giving a class about that. They just said, oh yeah, someone was just heard they said, when there's no more food and people eating each other, there's a different meaning to the term, hey, you want to have Thai tonight or Mexican? You're actually talking about a person, right? Because that's what there is. There's only people to eat. Who do you want to eat tonight? Like that. And fortunately, the Scottish don't have any cuisine, so no one go for a Scottish meal like that. And in fact, there's always been people eating people. Some class I just heard recently that in New Zealand, you may know this history. The Maori, was it the Maori? Before them, there was another people inhabiting New Zealand, and the Maori came in. You know what they did? They defeated them all and ate them. So when the British came and introduced themselves and heard the story, they said, "Oh, maybe we can live in peace," because these are the people that when they win, they eat you, like that. They just cannibals. So it's been going on since time immemorial. But the point is, if there's nothing left to eat, what will people do? And they're already accustomed to be meat eaters. So all of these things are against we say the laws of nature. We say the laws of nature. There's also this pravartitam chakram. Chakra means this wheel. It's already going on. It's already perfect. It's already just like we look at nature and we see how everything is in perfect balance. So who's made that balance? And what are all the different aspects of that balance? And just like the people can understand the balance in nature as far as environmental and global warming has been upset. There's a balance, and it's been upset, right? Temperatures are rising and this and that and pollute. Something's been upset, and now we have a reaction. Hurricanes, powerful hurricanes, all these things because there's a balance that's become upset. And we see there's a balance because things can go on very, very precise balance in nature, but we don't care for that. Like that, we have our program, and we don't care for it. So that's the problem. That's the problem. People don't understand these things. What is that? Bhogaishvara prasaktanam thaya prajeta chaitasam. What happens when Bhogaishvara prasaktanam? When a people become too much attached to Bhoga and Aishwarya, enjoyment and pursuit of opulence, prasaktanam thaya prajeta chaitasam. Their minds become completely bewildered. Like that, they lose it. Just like a dust storm clouds one's vision. So that's what happens. These things bewilder people, and they completely disregard what's right in their face, right in front of their face. Now, obviously, Krishna consciousness is not right in front of people's faces, but that's the business of the devotees to teach people these different principles and so on. Follow them ourselves to the T, and to teach others. Now, we'll end soon. Now, as far as a takeaway from class, this is very, very broad pictures being painted here about the population and all the grains and so on. But the idea is in our own lives, from we not be card-carrying thieves, but in what way do we disturb the balance in nature? Like that, the different balance in nature. So that's something that we have to analyze every day, because we're coming from this stock. We're all reformed thieves, right? You stand up and say, "My name is Braj Mohan. I used to be a thief, like the AAA, but now I've gone straight. I haven't stolen anything in how long? Well, I don't count that pakora from last night that Jamal wasn't looking at, and I took it. Besides that, my name is Jamal. I'm a reformed thief. I've been going straight for." So we're all reformed thieves, but the tendency is there to try to enjoy this material world in small or big ways without Krishna in the center. So we have to put Krishna in the center and think about this, because we won't be happy. Just no one has been happy by trying to go in the other direction. It's like swimming against the current, right? When there's a big wheel turning, you're trying to go the other way. The current is going one way. Why not go, what do they say? Go with the flow? Well, we know what the flow is. That's towards Krishna's lotus feet. That's Queen Kunti. That's the original go with the flow verse, right? She says, just like the Ganges flows to the shore, may my mind flow to your lotus feet. That's the go with the flow verse in Krishna consciousness, like that. So we have to, work on that. So, any questions or comments on this principle of reality that Mother Bhumi is pointing out to us? Would you like this microphone, or is there another one?
Hare Krishna. It's interesting that, for me anyway, that they're talking about the seeds, because I follow the trends, and there's all of this stuff with, you probably all know, with GMO, genetically modified, and they modify the seeds, and sometimes they modify the plants. So the whole thing, you get control of the seeds, you have control of the agriculture. And there's Monsanto, the big monstrous, worldwide thing. There's a push now to do that in India. They've already done it with our luggage in America, because one of the things that every farmer knows, you have to preserve your seeds. You know, your seeds are your wealth for the next planting. You know, keep preserving it. But if the big companies, they control the seeds and they modify, so they have this pesticide. You know, this big pesticide. It's on everything now. It's called Roundup. But it's actually been shown to contain a very poisonous chemical. So the idea is that they can plant huge fields of the same crop. This is more money involved, you know. And they're all protected by this Roundup. And the seeds are adjusted so that the plants themselves will grow and have resistance to the weed, the pesticide killer. So they can put that in everything. But the problem is that weed killer gets on the food, and it doesn't kill you right away, but it kills beneficial bacteria in your stomach. It kills all kinds of bacteria. And that's what they discovered. That's one of the big reasons for the epidemic of obesity and everything, because of this stuff. You know, so the idea is that this is the way nature, you know, eventually levels the field. You know, you're not going to see Mother Earth withholding the seeds directly, but the imbalances, and suddenly there's shortage of food, or the food is not as nourishing, and you know, you have to. So it's happening right now. In other words, this Bhagavatam, what we're seeing now is going on currently in the world. Mother Nature is restricting and doing all this because it's so sinful. Crazy. The demons get control.
Yeah. It's a demonic mentality. Ishwaraham ham bhogi. I'm the enjoyer, I'm the controller, I can do whatever I want, but you can't. And sooner or later it all comes back around and you get slapped for a little while. Yeah, you like that. Now the thief thinks, oh, I got away with it, and all of a sudden they find him. And they find him. Yes. Anything else? So fortunately, whatever grains and vegetables and all that we have, we offer them. It's prasad. In just a few short minutes, you'll all be able to enjoy Krishna prasad. Like that. Yes.
So with Dravita's wonderful explanation of the GMO crisis that's currently infecting the mass of humanity, as devotees, should our response to that be a boycott of GMO ingredients because of the place that it's coming from and the effect that it has on the human body and how it can prevent self-realization? Because it says in Srimad Bhagavatam, if it is really linked to creating obesity, it says in Srimad Bhagavatam that you can't engage in self-realization if you're fat. So what should our response be to that? Yeah.
Yeah, our response to all of these things, of course, as far as practical and possible, we avoid them and we preach to avoid them. And we preach that they're what they actually are. And that's not even a spiritual principle, it's just common sense. These are demons. It's a demoniac activity, and it's gradually ruining civilization and humanity. So yes, so as far as possible, we should not take part in these things as far as possible. So, absolutely. So we can end here on that happy note. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.